Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome to the Sister to Sister Connection Talk Show. I hope you all can hear me loud and clear and loud. So we're happy and excited to be here. I know for the past couple of weeks, Twonta and myself have been in limbo. I know for me, as you guys know, I have 5 kids. So we've had graduations, stepping up ceremonies, and so many different things that it's just kind of Sunday was like, oh my God, it was like so many things happening that one day. But we're back here again for another week of the show. We have a really, really good topic to talk to you guys about today. Sorry about my lighting here. I got to figure out this lighting in here. We have some new lighting here. So I know I look a little bit dark, but I know Twonta over there is looking really cute, honey. Yes, as per usual. Yes. So we're going to jump right into today's conversation. For those of you who are new to us, my name is Leticia Campbell, and I'm here with my amazing co-host, Twonta Davis Jones. Okay, Reverend. I like Reverend, right? Reverend Twonta should add that there.
Sure.
Yeah, Reverend Twonta Davis Jones, and we're back at it again for another amazing conversation. For those of you who are new to our Sister Connection show, and those of you who are new to our Sister Connection community, we believe in 3 pillars. Right? If y'all watching it now, live or replay right now, we believe in 3 pillars. Write these down. We believe in sisterhood, right? Stability, right? And spirituality. So whether you're watching us on YouTube or Facebook, wherever you're watching this show, this is not a gossip channel or a gossip platform. We don't talk about tea, this or drama or anything like that. This is a peaceful space. And I have to say that always, because a lot of us need those channels and those platforms and those resources to where when we watch something, we can get motivated by it, we can get inspired by it. I know for me, sometimes I go back and I rewatch a lot of our shows whenever I feel like I need, some motivation, right? Even in our viewers, those of you who watch us, been watching us for years, I believe since 2018, we've been doing this show. There's times where our viewers that I know in real life, I'll be going through something and they'll be like, well, remember this show where y'all gave this tip, right? And it always goes back. So this is like a digital catalog or digital resource for you guys to come to this channel, come to this platform, make sure you're subscribed and following us to where you can get spirituality, sisterhood, and stability. And all those 3 pillars are very important every single day. All right. So Twonta always comes up with our amazing topic, and she definitely did not skimp on this one. So we're going to go right ahead and dive into today's topic. Sharice, our show producer, is going to go ahead and pull up the topic right now for you guys, so y'all know what we're going to be talking about and discussing. And Twonta's going to kick off first with explaining the topic, and then we're going to get into our talking points. Go ahead, Twonta.
Yeah, so let me congratulate you, girl, on your baby's graduation.
Thank you so much.
I know you were crying.
I was boohoo crying. I was having a full circle moment. Yeah, it's just the beginning. It's just the beginning.
It is. That is just so sweet.
Thank you.
I was just looking the pictures you posted of your baby girl,
right.
And I was like, I can't believe this baby is graduating from where? Like, oh my God! I remember when she was tiny,
and
when
now look at her. Little thing, yes, she barely walk. Now she's like, I'm ready to go. She still thinks she has school. I'm like, no, school's off for 2 months. She still thinks she has school tomorrow.
precious age.
Yes,
precious
it is
age.
very much so.
But we are going to be talking about our journey, because a lot of us, we are all on a journey, and sometimes when we go and while we in this journey, we have people in our lives that really don't understand the weight of our journey.
Right.
Some people don't get it. They just think that, we're just here, or, when we're dealing with some things, they don't really consider it to be like, they don't take it, they're not compassionate as the way we will hope them to be, or if not empathetic for that matter. Right. And so we gotta, I wanted just to make it known to all of us out there that our journey is not for weakness. Our journey is a purpose. Our journey comes with weight. Our journey comes with change. Our journey comes with purging. Our journey comes with so many different facets, and every single one of us, we are not on the same timetable. Like you're
Correct.
on your journey, I'm on my journey,
Correct.
but your story or your journey may be a little bit different than mine. We may have some similarities
Mm-hmm.
when we share some things, but it's still different,
Mm-hmm.
right? And sometimes people would expect us to be done with our issues or
Mm-hmm.
done with this, with our, our emotional, change or what have you. No,
No.
it's not. Trust me, you don't even know
Mm-hmm.
what women are still carrying, what they're
Mm-hmm.
still dealing with, and what is so hard to get rid of,
Mm-hmm.
because yeah, we may have grown up, we may have changed a little bit, but we're still dealing with the repetitive drama of
Mm-hmm.
family, loved
Mm-hmm.
ones, even
Mm-hmm.
with our own selves.
Right.
With our own selves. So we're just going to share some points tonight with you ladies and make sure, this is an open forum
Yeah.
for all of you. You are welcome to definitely put your viewpoint,
Mm-hmm.
or even your experiences, what you are currently dealing with now in your journey.
Right. Right.
Everybody's on a journey. If you living and breathing right now, you are on
Mm-hmm.
a journey, and your
Mm-hmm.
journey is weighted with so
Mm-hmm.
much stuff. And so yeah, we're going to be, dive into that, and also just to really support each other, because we
That's
all
right.
need to support one another.
That's right.
Honestly, no
We
matter
do.
where we are right now, we definitely do need to support each other. You want to add
Amen.
anything to that?
Definitely. I love how you mentioned how we all need to support each other, and it's very important that we do. And I know we're going to dive into this in today's conversation, but we do our journey. We got to keep going. We got to keep
Mm,
going. We got to keep going. Sometimes when we're going through our journey, we feel
yeah.
that we have to stop all the things that we're building, right? All the things that we're working on, all the things that we're trying to accomplish till we get through whatever rough patch in our life. But you know that God, and this is something that I feel inside of me, that God is going to reward you even more if you keep being resilient, which is Tawanta's favorite word, right?
Mhm.
Through whatever challenge that you're going through in your life. For me, in my personal life, I'm going through a huge challenge, but I'm still showing up. I'm still pushing through. I'm still staying
Yeah,
consistent. I may not
yeah,
feel good all the time, look good all the time, on
yeah,
all the things, but you got to keep going. You got to keep
yeah.
going. Yeah.
Absolutely, and just a disclaimer: my Wi-Fi is still wiki wonky, so if I
Mine too.
freeze up, yeah, if mine freeze up, then of course Tisha, she will keep going until I get
Right.
back on, vice versa. Okay, so just let you
Absolutely.
guys know. All right, so this will go to our first point. Okay, so don't mistake my journey for weakness. Here's the
Mm-hmm.
first point: I refuse to soften my truth for those who have harmed me. Anybody wants to iterate on that? I refuse to soften my truth. I'm not going to back down on my truth. I'm not going to allow you to intimidate me and have me to just go ahead and, just not really stand firm on the woman that I am or the woman that I'm becoming. I am not going to allow, people's ignorance, or even people's, toxic, behavior,
Mm-hmm.
to diminish me as a
Mm-hmm.
woman, diminish me because, I'm not thinking straight, or, I don't have nothing of value to say. Yes, I do. I have a lot to say. And what I know is truth for me,
Mm-hmm.
because, I'm not going to allow the harm of people's opinion of me,
Mm-hmm.
to have me fall back into that dark space in my
Mm-hmm.
life. Okay, this journey that I'm in right now, it has improved me in
Mm-hmm.
ways that I didn't even know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it has helped me to become more bolder. It helped me
Mm-hmm.
to become more vocal,
Yeah.
and it also helped me to scale back,
Yes.
not to aggressively get all, in an attack mode, because of people who still want to continue to try to, poke that bear, try
Mm-hmm.
to really provoke me to attack in a way. I'm learning how to just, like, what, I'm just going to let you have your moment.
Yep. Yep.
I'm just going to let you go ahead and do your thing. I'm not even going to sit here and debate. I'm not going to sit here and
Mm-hmm.
negotiate. I'm just not going to do it
Mm-hmm.
because, it's too tiring. I've been there, done that. I'm to that point where I had enough. I'm beyond to
Mm-hmm.
that point where I had enough, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's something I'm holding on to. And that's helping me to just start to reroute my focus, to start
Mm-hmm.
focusing more on what God has for my life. And to also, and here's the thing, too, ladies, don't ignore your setbacks either,
Mm-hmm.
because that too can harm you from your
Mm-hmm.
truth.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning that we got to start looking at ourselves in the mirror. We have to start, if we can easily go ahead and pull out the faults of people who has been attacking us,
Mm-hmm.
we too need to put ourselves in that situation and say, well, what
Amen.
have you been doing to yourself, Twonta?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What is
What
causing
have you
you
been putting up with and
exactly
letting slide under the rug, for years?
right,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's, and I think for us sisters, we definitely we're so easy to go ahead and I won't take that lightly, but play victim, even
Yeah.
though we have been victimized,
Mm-hmm.
but we can't continue to use that word because here's the thing: we're gonna act like a narcissist. We're gonna act just
That's
like them.
right. That's
We're
right.
gonna play that victim card real good. We play it really well, and we
Yep.
not there ignoring the fact that yeah, you've been hurt, you've been abused, verbal abuse, or what have you. I'm not taking that lightly at all. But how
Mm-hmm.
long are you going to continue to carry that card? How long are
Right.
you going to play victim?
Right.
Okay, God is here to help us. He's there to heal us, but we have to stop. We have to make a decision.
Mm-hmm. Got to
Okay,
make a choice.
my truth is, yeah, I was hurt. Yeah, my truth, I've
Mm-hmm.
been betrayed. Yeah, my truth
Mm-hmm.
is, I'm still dealing with a narcissist, and it still
Mm-hmm.
hurts my nerve of the behaviors that they still doing and
Yep.
what
That's
But
right.
at the end of the day, I have to look at myself and say,
Mm-hmm.
okay, Marta, you need to check yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You need to look at your faults.
That's
You
right.
need to go and start making some serious changes
Mm-hmm.
in your mental capacity as well as in your heart as well. In order
Mm-hmm.
to start seeing things differently, in order for you to really start walking in your journey with peace.
Mm.
You have all this stuff going on, but yet your mindset is different.
Yes. Yes.
Re-examining
Right.
your mental state.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, does that make sense? Does that
That
make
makes,
sense?
I love how you say we have to re-examine our mental state,
Yeah,
because all of us, well, most of us women have gone through a lot, whether it be through a relationship or business or whatever,
yeah.
life or childhood, where there's a certain level of trauma that we're all just walking around with and holding on to, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I know have been through that cycle of trauma for so long that once you get
Yeah.
out of that, see, this is why a lot of it's easier said than done, but it's achievable. Once you get out of those traumatic situations, whether it be a relationship or childhood or whatever, um, being around normal people is almost weird to you. It's
Yeah.
almost like I had to understand that when somebody's being genuinely nice, it
Mm-hmm.
felt I always had to say, well, there's something that's going to happen, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And for me, I was just sharing this with somebody earlier today. I said,
Mm-hmm.
it's refreshing to be around people who have a high level of that emotional intelligence. This is going to take you guys to reach out and get help. A lot of
Yeah.
times, what I realized, Tawanta, and I've done this for almost over 2 decades, um, where because we're going through, whether I'm using emotional abuse as an example. You go through
Mm-hmm.
emotional abuse, it's not
Mm-hmm.
physical. They're not blacking your eye out, or they're not,
Right.
publicly humiliating you, but it's emotional. It's behind closed doors, or it's just
Yeah.
incidents that is disrespectful, blatantly disrespectful towards you as a woman,
Yeah.
just pulling you apart. You ever seen pulled pork? It's like
Yeah.
it's all pulled apart, it's all shredded. That's how we
Yeah.
feel as women when we're going through emotional abuse. We're just in pieces, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and it's
Mm-hmm.
hard for us to explain it to people. It's hard for us to express it to people, right? Because it's not the physical aspect of it where it's just evident. But
Yeah. Yeah.
You need help getting yourself back together. You need to have that self love for yourself to know that there is better out there. And what I mean
Mm-hmm.
by better, I'm not talking about a better relationship. I'm talking about it's a better world out there for ourselves.
Yes.
You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? And we
Oh yeah.
cannot uh, um, soften our truth. You know, somebody mentioned this earlier. I was watching a video, and the person said sometimes when we go through trauma, we forget about it. Like we have, like
Mm-hmm.
we create this like subconscious little ball in our head where when even if we explain in front of a therapist, we can't explain because we forget about it. So a lot of times I will go back to recordings or
Mm-hmm.
things I've written down years ago on a
Mm-hmm.
piece of paper just to remember certain incidents that came up so I don't forget. We can't forget.
Mm-hmm.
I'm into the forgiving part, Twonta, but
Yeah.
we cannot forget any hurt or pain that people put us through. Because a
Mm.
lot of times when we forget and we move on and we accept it or go back or try it again, it gives
Mm-hmm.
that person or those individuals that entitlement uh, um, aspect in their mind that, hey, if you wasn't happy, why are you here? If you're not happy with this job, why are you still coming here every day? You
Mm-hmm.
know, or this
Mm-hmm.
relationship or this partnership or whatever. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
Mm-hmm.
when I take from the word where it says, I refuse to soften my truth. Remember what the truth is, because people are going to make their own truths. Let's be honest.
Yeah, that's true.
Especially if
That.
they're trying to humiliate you, especially if they're trying to discredit you as a mom, as a businesswoman, as an entrepreneur, as a
Yeah.
woman of God. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
in the past, 9 months, all those three things have been attempted to happen to me because the devil is a lie. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is with that is like, how do we resurrect ourselves from that? We remember our truth to
Yeah.
where we don't have to. If you know your truth, there's no
Mm-hmm.
defending your truth
Yeah.
because it's your truth. So if
Yeah.
somebody's sparking up all these, if whoever's harming you, they're sparking up all these lies and exaggerated truths, right?
Mm-hmm.
That they want to make up. You know
Mm-hmm.
your truth, so you say, you know what? I'm not going to defend myself. If they want to believe it, let them believe it.
Yep.
If they got 6, 7 people on your block or in your family or at your job or in your business
Yeah.
to believe that lie, let them believe it. Because this
Yep.
is the
Yep.
thing: all 7 of them get a fool. You ain't.
Mm-hmm.
So when we get
Mm-hmm.
out there, and you mentioned this a second ago, when we get out there and we're trying to just go into defense mode and explain ourselves and do all these things, it just exhausts us.
Right.
And
Absolutely.
whoever it is that's harming you wants to exhaust you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's a tactic. They want to exhaust you
Oh
so
yeah.
much to the point where you don't show up, you don't stay consistent, you question yourself, right? And you stay,
Mm-hmm.
like I said before, in this little bubble.
Right.
And you gotta
Right.
refuse that. Yeah.
Yeah, that is powerful for
Mm-hmm.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know, like for me, for my personal journey right now,
Mm-hmm.
I know that I am in that position of re-examining myself right now.
Yes.
I'm taking
Yes.
full accountability of my behavior or my slackness or
Yes.
my on to the memories of what happened or what was said to me, or continue to rehearse the behavior of, people closest to my spouse, my kids, or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and continue to use that as the weapon. Like
Mm-hmm.
they're doing this, da 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 da.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, though, at the end of the day, God is He will bring it to your attention. He's like, but what are you doing?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Is not he's fully aware of the people that's around you. He knows that they were going to harm you in some form of
Yeah.
fashion.
Yep. I believe that too.
you know and he knew that we were going to be affected by that, but
Mm-hmm.
he also hoped to believe that what he's given in you, we need to use the tools, we need to
Exactly.
use the power that he's given us,
Yep.
that we can withstand this, not on our own way, but he's the one that will strengthen us to help us through this journey when
Right.
we are being harmed or being
Disrespected,
dis-
violated, all the things. And all
exactly.
of that, he's helping you and me and those who are
Yeah.
watching take back control. But
Take back
take it back using him, not on our own will,
Yeah,
but his will.
exactly.
We
His
gotta we
will.
gotta
Mhm.
involve him in all these intricate points and us reassessing ourselves because we can reassess ourselves and then put ourselves down at the same time. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? But if we
Mm-hmm.
assess ourselves and make God help us to become more aware of all the mistakes, what we put up with, what we let slide, what we accepted, and all the stuff like that, even
Mm-hmm.
negative thoughts, He's able to turn that. Like you mentioned the word victim, He was able to turn us from victims to victorious, which
Exactly.
is a powerful thing.
Yeah, yeah, and we are victorious if we are in Him, then He's in us. Yeah, we already victorious.
Amen.
We just have to really mentally start changing the way how we think,
Mm-hmm.
and not continue to regurgitate the pain
Mm-hmm.
of what was poured into us.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what's holding us back. That's what
Yes.
is having us to not really accelerate
Mm-hmm.
in our purpose, that God has for us. Every
Mm-hmm.
single one of us are phenomenal, gifted, talented women, and the
Mm-hmm.
enemy doesn't want us to accelerate in that at all, because he
Nope.
knows our destiny is very powerful and it's going to
Exactly.
change the dynamics of people's lives, whatever the calling is in your life. So
Mm-hmm.
he's going to go ahead and initiate these things into your life. And you have to know who you are as that woman of God, as that woman of faith, and all of those
Mm-hmm.
things,
Mm-hmm.
to not allow that harm to, soften you or
Mm-hmm.
shrink you down,
Mm-hmm.
or you force yourself to hide. There's people
Mm-hmm.
who actually hide. They don't want to go out, they don't want to get up, they don't want to
Mm-hmm.
walk out the door, because they just been so emotionally harmed, or mentally harmed by the people
Mm-hmm.
that they connected to, whatever. So
Mm-hmm.
yes, you have to stand bold in who you are as a woman of God, and know
Mm-hmm.
that I'm not going to bow down to this. I'm not going
Right.
to weaken down to this. God is
Mm-hmm.
my source, is my strength, and He's the one that's going to deliver me and set me free
Mm-hmm.
from all stuff. And guess what, y'all? People are going to do what they're going to do.
They are.
They're
Yeah.
yeah, they're going to act the way they're going to act. They're going to do what they're going to do. And just like
All
you
the
said, Tisha,
foolishness and
it's too
more.
tiring. Yeah,
It
it's just
is.
too
It's exhausting.
tiring.
And I pray this all the time to God. Ask God, never allow me anymore, or help me to stop having more fear for other people, for man, than you. Some of y'all have
Yeah.
more fear for your boss than God. Some of y'all have more fear in your
Mhm.
husband than God. Some of y'all have more fear in your friend or whoever that's harming you than you do in God.
Yeah.
And I had to tell myself that. And my fear in this person who is a child in an adult body, then more than
Mhm.
I fear God. And I pray that prayer every single day. So when you
Yeah.
do that, that person could be, when you have more fear in God than that person could be yelling, screaming, causing you all this hell and turmoil, and you're just like this. Okay, what else you want to say?
Mhm.
Okay. All right, that's how you feel. That's right. God told me I'm this. God. I know. I was sick. Like something happened to me the other day, and I was. There's this song. I wish I. It's by Jacqueline Kerr. She said He's bigger. So no matter what it
Yeah.
is you're going through, He is
Yeah.
bigger. So if you
Bigger.
got this big old person telling you this, that, da 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 da
Yeah.
da,
Yeah. Yeah.
God
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
bigger than him. God is
Yep.
bigger than her. God is
Yep.
bigger than whatever situation. He's bigger than that. So
He
whatever it
is.
is, if you got to sing a song or listen to a song, it's by Jacqueline
Mhm.
Kerr. I think
Jacqueline
Cerr. I
Carr.
think Jacqueline
Yeah.
Carr. And
Yep.
she's a young little thing. So I got a chance to
Mhm.
watch her perform in person a couple of years ago. But
Mhm.
He's bigger. He's
He is.
bigger. And when we think of it that way, and no matter what we're going through, we're like, God is bigger than this. That's it. You know?
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Absolutely. So let's move to our point number 2.
Number two. We can spend
Yeah.
all day on number one, but let's get to number
Yeah,
two, y'all. We
girl. We
got
sure
more.
can. Yes. So number 2 is, I'm not dwelling, I'm rebuilding. Piece
Mm.
by fractured
Ooh.
piece.
Mm.
I'm not dwelling. I'm rebuilding. See,
Mm.
you may hurt me. You think that what you have done has really shattered me. But what I'm doing is, those pieces, God is taking those pieces and He is rebuilding me,
Mm. Mm.
piece by fractured
Yes, Lord.
piece.
Mm.
Okay, because those pieces, yeah, those fractured pieces. If you ever had fractured fractured an arm or a leg. I never had that experience. I pray to God I never will. But if you know someone that probably was in an accident, you know what I'm saying, and they had fractured their leg or their elbow or what have you, and you see the X-ray, and they show that piece of the bone or that muscle, whatever it is that is fractured, and it's painful,
Painful. Yeah.
right? It's very painful. And 9 times out of 10, they may have to do some surgery to mend it, to restore it or what have you. And that's what we're walking, we are fractured beings,
Yes, we are.
but
We
God
all are.
has been building us,
Mm-hmm.
right? Every now and then you're going to feel some discomfort by the
Mm-hmm.
people that has caused that fracture, that has
Mm-hmm.
caused that pain in your leg.
Come on now, Twonta.
Every now and then.
Mm.
And you're going to feel
That's
it,
the
and it's
word.
going to be comfortable. It's going to make you cringe. It's going to make you want to just throw the towel and say, I can't deal with it. But God is still in control.
Mm.
He has taken those pieces and he is reshaping you. And it's
Mm.
going to take some time,
Mm.
because a fractured bone, it takes time to heal, depending on
Mm-hmm.
how bad it is. It's
Mm.
going to take some time.
Mm.
So you have to be patient with the
Mm.
pieces that's being remolded, reshaped,
Remolded. Mm-hmm.
refined.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So yeah, I'm not gonna sit and just dwell in my pain.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna let that happen.
Right.
I'm rebuilding day by day, piece by piece. And
Mm-hmm.
yes, I may cry for a few
Mm.
days,
Mm.
but don't mistake it for weakness.
Don't mistake it for it. Let yourself go through that process of
That's
whatever
right.
pain that you're feeling from that pain from the fracture. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
also equate the pain from the fracture to triggering. So if there's people around you
Yeah.
that are the trigger you,
Mm-hmm.
you have to control that. You
Mm-hmm.
have to
Mm-hmm.
seek dominion and authority over whatever that trigger is.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it's hard. I was praying to God too the other day, and I said, Lord, please help me to stop. Please help me. There's a scripture in the Bible. It says,
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to mess God's word up. So let me go back to it, because please forgive me, because I did take a
Yeah,
picture
that's
of it. And
okay.
it's so interesting how I took a picture of it, not
Mm-hmm.
knowing that this was weeks ago. I took this picture, but
Mm-hmm.
I took a picture of it, not knowing that today would be the perfect time for me to reference it. So, this is from the book of John, chapter 14, and it
Mm-hmm.
says, Peace I leave with you, my
Mm-hmm.
peace I
Mm-hmm.
give to you. I do not
Mm-hmm.
give to you as the world gives. Do not let your heart be troubled, and do not let them be afraid. This is from the NRV version of the
Yeah.
word.
Mm-hmm.
So I was praying to God. I said, Lord, sometimes when we're not around a person, we're all joyful. We're like, yeah, you're happy,
Yeah.
we're joyful, we're great, right? We're cleaning up, doing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And the minute a person steps in the room, it's like everything dips. So we
Mm.
have to pray to God, no matter who enters our space, because sometimes you
Mm-hmm.
just can't get rid of some a negative spirit, because
Yeah.
everything
Yeah.
is battering the spiritual warfare. Um, we can't just get rid of a negative spirit. They're going to come around us, they're going to be in our space, whether it be for a long period of
Right.
time or a temporary period of time. And we got to
Yeah.
pray all the time and say, you know what, no matter who enters my space, please help me, Lord, to not get triggered and not get upset. Please help me to still be dancing and be lively, be excited and all that stuff. If you have to turn up your praise and worship music, go ahead and do it. you
Yeah.
know
Exactly.
and do
Mm-hmm.
not dwell in that, because at the end of the day, that's on you. If a person comes to your space and you
Yeah.
just threw out everything God said on Sunday, like, oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
our fault, right?
And
we
I've
got
done that. Yeah.
Yeah, we got to say, Lord, let this still be your will and not mine, just like Jesus
Exactly.
said. So it's that constant of battling of the triggering, because the devil knows how to trigger us. I do feel that we have certain people in our lives that are just comes from just a demonic um,
Oh yeah.
entity, and that's
Mm-hmm.
just who they are. Ain't no level of therapy. or
Yeah.
anything that's going to change that. We just got to
Mhm.
remember who God is and why and how he
Absolutely.
used everyone in our lives as tools to help sharpen us and make us better women, you know.
Mhm.
But I love how you mentioned the fracture, right? We always
Mhm.
go back and remember the pain and the fracture, but also understand you got to rebuild from that. So when
Got
somebody
you.
comes to your space and they call and you just, oh, they don't even have to say nothing. You just instantly get upset. Rebuild from that. Get joy from that.
Yes.
Take that as a lesson, guys, because
Yeah.
that's important for no matter who enters our space. We got to still remember that God is bigger than that person
Yeah.
or that spirit or whatever.
Absolutely. He is. He's bigger,
Mhm.
and he wants us to, and that's why I said for us as women, we have to take accountability of our behavior,
Yes, we do.
of our actions,
Right, we
because
do.
yeah, that
We do.
person may be irritating or irritant. I was at at a Sunday school this morning, and the first lady, she was talking, and she said she was sharing a story of her a pastor's um experience with someone, and they called them an irritant.
Mhm.
And I said, oh, I'm gonna use that.
That's
So that's the name.
classy.
Yes,
Yes.
irritant. And she said, even though we call it that, it's not to really like, discredit that person in a bad, negative way, but the person is
Right.
irritating.
They
So,
very annoying, irritating, obnoxious,
yes,
all the
yes,
above. But
yes.
I
But
take it
she still,
as the word
hmm
says, whatever there is good, there's also
yeah,
bad.
yeah,
Not
yeah.
every not everything is always it's hand in hand.
hmm
Wherever there's good, there's also bad lurking
Yeah.
somewhere. That's the life.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the
Mhm.
person was just, a very irritating person. But yet they still continue to pray for the person.
Oh yeah,
They
you gotta
still
pray.
continue to, respond in a kind way
Hmm.
versus in a, respond like how they respond to you,
Hmm.
and we all guilty on that, because
Hmm.
when someone attacks you, you're gonna immediately defend yourself and attack back,
That's a
and all
normal
those things.
emotion.
Yes, as it is. And we also have to be careful with that too, because after a while, that's going to shift us.
Hmm.
It's going to shift us to be them, to respond like them. And so again, we all have to take that reevaluation. We all got to look at ourselves and say, okay, God, I need you to clean my heart. I need you to
Hmm.
fix me, just like David created me a
Hmm.
clean heart,
Hmm.
renew a right spirit in me. Okay.
Hmm.
And that's something we all have to say to the Lord every single day.
Hmm.
Seriously. Because you're going to be dealing with a whole lot of stuff every single
Every
day.
single day, we got to check our spirit.
We
Because we
do.
can't control other spirits out there. We can pray for those spirits, right? But yelling at that negative spirit ain't gonna do nothing. That's gonna wear you out. I've done that for over 2 decades. Yelling at that negative spirit, fighting with that negative spirit, just wears you out.
Yeah.
We gotta control our spirit, ladies
Yeah.
and men and children.
Yeah.
We gotta
Yeah.
control. We gotta have that high level of emotional
Because we're doing it our
intelligence
own way.
and
We
mental
when we do that,
toughness.
right? Because we are reacting based on flesh.
Mm-hmm.
We're not responding based on spirit.
Mm-mm.
Because the
Mm-mm.
spirit, we say, okay, Lord, I trust you, then that
Mm-hmm.
means you're going to rest in him.
Mm-hmm.
That means you're going
Mm-hmm.
to let him fight your battles.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So the enemy's going to try. Yeah, they're
Mm-hmm.
going to do it. So that person that the enemy is in, that's going to going to try to trigger you again, you're going to have to say, okay, you know what? Before I even respond, let me slow myself down,
Mm-hmm.
right? Let me shut
Mm-hmm.
up, okay? And if I don't have anything to say, I'm just gonna be like,
Or
okay,
don't respond at all. Yeah,
yeah,
don't.
either that, don't respond.
Don't
Exactly.
say
Either you
nothing at
say
all.
okay, walk away, or just don't
Mm.
respond at all.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Maintain your peace. And I get
right.
it, y'all. Tawanta and I know that some of the things that some of the vile and vicious and dirty and
Ooh,
ghetto things that come
child.
out of people's mouths does hurt.
Ooh, yeah,
I'm not
yeah,
even gonna lie, it does hurt. It does hit a nerve.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
but at the end of the day, you gotta understand that we're mirrors. This is the awesome thing about life that I love because I'm going through all this now.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
And whatever that person's saying to you is a reflection of them, not you.
Mhm. Mhm.
So everything that the enemy may say, I don't care what they call you, they really call themselves that.
Mm. Yeah.
You're just a mirror. That's it. So instead of taking it in, reflect it right back. Don't respond. Don't say nothing.
Mhm.
Constantly tell yourself who you are in the eyes of God.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because one thing that the enemy is going to try to do is going to
Mhm.
try to change your mind and tell you who you are, which is
Right.
totally outside of what God says who you are.
Yeah.
So I constantly tell myself that I'm an amazing mother, right? I'm
Mhm.
an amazing
Mhm.
person. I'm an
Mhm.
awesome entrepreneur, right?
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
don't just take up space. I create opportunities for women to be who they are and
Mhm.
elevate in whatever aspect of their life that they want to elevate, right? And so constantly repeating those things to yourself, whether you believe it now in the current state or not, still say
Yeah.
it, because it
That's
gets us
right.
into our next point. Let's get into point number 3,
Yes.
which is I'm not broken, I'm
Yeah.
becoming. So I
I'm
want to I
becoming.
want to just talk about this for a second. I don't care what your bank account looks out like. I don't care what your bank account looks like right now. I don't care if
Yeah.
you're living in a basement. I don't care where I don't care if you're 400 pounds. Always try to think about what you're becoming,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
You're not
Mhm.
broken. We always think we're these
Mhm.
broken, shattered, damaged, we always think we're damaged goods,
Yeah.
right? Because the people in our
Mhm.
lives may have made us feel that way. You're not giving enough. You're not doing enough. You're
Yeah.
not doing this, doing that. Trying to get us to their standards, which you think is up
Yeah.
here, but it's really all the way down here,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
just remember
Yeah.
what it is you want to become, what you want to become, and speak it as if it's already here,
Mhm.
right? Yes,
Mhm.
I'm
Mhm.
sorry.
No, 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 no. I'm glad because we was thinking the same thing because you just transition over to the next point. Yeah, because it
Right.
just makes a little sense. But yeah, absolutely. I am becoming. And here's the thing, ladies. Yes, I know for some of us, we have been through some horrible, horrible, situations in
Yeah.
our lives. Whether it's family, whether it's marriage, whether it's
Mm-hmm.
business, whatever it is,
Mm-hmm.
and it has tore us up. It has torn
Torn.
us. It has
Mm-hmm.
really affected us in so
Mm-hmm.
many different ways, to the
Mm-hmm.
point that yeah, we can say, yeah, I was broken by that. It
Mm-hmm.
destroyed me.
Mm-hmm.
It really left me hopeless. So what have
Mm-hmm.
you? Okay,
Mm-hmm.
totally understand that. But
Mm-hmm.
now, if you are asking God to help you through this process, then
Mm-hmm.
guess what? You're not broken. You got to speak it out. I'm becoming. While
Coming.
you're in this journey, you
Mm-hmm.
got God that's taking you. He is directing you. He's not letting go of you. He said, I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to help you. That's what God does every single day. If you
Every
want him
single
to help
day.
you, he's going to do it. But
Mm-hmm.
we have to, that's why I said we got to look at ourselves individually and stop thinking what we've been thinking about I'm broken, and even with myself, because
Mm-hmm.
I still carrying that same
Yeah.
station about, well, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
he broke my heart. He broke me. He did,
Mm-hmm.
da. But you know what? I'm not giving the devil the satisfaction no
Don't
more.
even, don't even speak that out there. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. I am becoming.
Mm-hmm.
I'm being mended day by day.
Day by day.
He's taking my broken pieces and he is restructuring me day by day. So if you really look at where you were last year or maybe 6 months ago, you see the change.
Yeah.
You see that you
The
have developed.
progression.
And yeah, exactly, you still
Mm-hmm.
developing, and there's some areas about you you got a down pat.
Mm-hmm.
You graduated on that area of your life.
Mm-hmm.
But there's still
Mm-hmm.
some other areas that still need to be mended. You
Mended.
see
You're right.
coming,
Yeah.
right? And those are the things that we need to look at more
Yeah.
versus looking at the fractured pieces of our lives when it
I
comes to the people.
love that you said that. Yeah,
Yeah,
because if we're always constantly walking in that broken spirit, then we're really not learning anything. Because
exactly.
with every
Yeah,
failure is a lesson. You're not really failing, you're learning. So
right.
if we're going through situations where we're constantly feeling like we're these little pieces, then you're not learning nothing.
You're not
So
learning
instead
that.
of saying that I'm broken, I'm down, I'm this, I'm that, I'm hurt, and all these things, ask God, What did you want me to learn from this situation? And I'm going to use myself an example. I was watching this recording of something that somebody said about me, and I had to sit there and say, and put dissect what was said. And I said, you know what, God, what did you want me to learn from what that person said? And that's where the mirroring thing happened. And he said that person's just reflecting who they are. Like you're just this mirror, you're reflecting. So it allowed me not to take it in. But if I had sat there and rewatched that video again, I would have been, oh my God. Get some strength, y'all.
Yeah.
For all this negativity that's coming at you, and realize this is all meant in God's play to build us up. And I know we don't want to admit this, but sometimes God will allow the devil to do certain things, or put you in certain situations so you can learn, so you don't get comfortable or complacent. Right?
Yeah.
So you don't get to that point where you're like, all right, everything is all good now. And then what happens? He brings in another challenge. And sometimes we think, oh my God, I'm always under warfare. No, God is telling you to move. You getting too comfortable. So he's going to keep allowing certain people to annoy you, to upset you, to frustrate you, because he's saying, no, you're not even supposed to be in this situation. I'm reminding you of that. Don't get comfortable. Don't. No. This is who this person is. Hello, daughter. Come on. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the thing. And then through life, when we go through, once we get out of a situation, and we go through life, we go through the stuff now. So later on down the line, we see the red flag. So I internally in my mind, Twonta, if this was 10 years from now, and I see a person that's like individuals in my life that cause me frustration, the minute I see it, I'm like, oh no, we're good. You go over there. Go. I ain't gonna give you no second, third, fourth chance. I see a little bit of a red flag come out. Ain't happening. But I have to go through this now in order to later on down the line know what to look for. What's the red flag?
Absolutely. Oh yeah. And this is a development stage, and that's something we as women have to understand when you go through this. Because like you said, it's a development stage when God is because the devil can't do nothing to you until God says and give the permission for him, to intervene, if that makes sense. Just think about Job in the Bible. Job was very committed to God, and Job was like, have you, and Jesus said, well, God said, have you considered my son Job? And the devil was like, I was thinking about it, but he's you got him all wrapped up.
Yep.
Go ahead on then, but don't kill him. Don't destroy him like that. But you can go ahead. I'm giving you permission. Because see, the devil was saying, like, you know what? If I take his wife, take his family, take his business, take everything away from him, and even on top of that, get him sick, his body's breaking down, all that stuff. At the end, I guarantee you, he's gonna totally ignore God. He's gonna curse God. He's gonna, you know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of us right now. We're probably going through something, multiple things back to back, one thing after the next.
One thing after. Sometimes multiple things at one time.
Girl. And I mean, and I get it. We all get in our moment. We get in our moment. Job was in his moment too, but not one time did he ever curse God.
Nope.
Not his wife did. His wife said, "Why don't you curse God?" And you know what? He's like, "Woman, what's wrong with you?" Like, no. Job never did that. He's like, I'm ready to go, God, just take me or what have you. But no, he still stood. And we as women, we're strong women. We got to understand the power that God has poured into us while we were in our mother's womb. Even before we were conceived in our mother's womb, he already created us as powerful beings.
Already.
Right? And we need to recognize that.
And accept it and embrace it.
Yes. That's why when we go on this journey, it's not so much for us to continue to, recap, the hardships of what we endured and have us stay stuck in that. No, it is to see that God has matured us. He developed us. He nurtures us. He had to purge us to get rid of that stuff that has caused so much dysfunction, so much poison, so much hurt. And it's not just the people who did it to us, it's us doing it to ourselves.
To ourselves. Come on now. That's true. And we have to
Yeah,
start knowing God. And I'm sorry, you can go to church every Sunday and don't know the Lord.
that's the truth. That's like that now.
You can read the word from front to back and don't know the Lord. We got to have
Yeah,
a relationship with God. We have to have
relationship.
a relationship. And whatever that is, you got to look it up and study what that is. I know the first thing of having a relationship with anybody is spending time,
Yeah,
talking to, praying,
yeah,
meditating. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And
yeah.
also remembering and practicing what is
Mm-hmm.
said. Right?
Mm-hmm.
That's important.
Mm-hmm.
Ignore all the negative
Yeah.
entities that are around. Like, it's to the point where now somebody can that I don't agree with right now could walk in the room and they're non-existent to me.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? It's
Mm-hmm.
just like
Mm-hmm.
that, non-existent. I would. It's
Right.
like, and I have to do that right now in the stage that I'm at as a mom, as a woman, as an entrepreneur, so that
Yeah.
way I could keep staying focused on my goal. And if we got to
Right.
take it there to a point where we got to make people non-existent and just pray for them, while we're on our knees and just say, okay, but
Mm-hmm.
when they get around us, we just got to be like, you know what? No conversation, no eye contact, no anything. Then that's what it is we have to do so we
Right.
can become what it is we need to become. Because the minute you get in
Mm-hmm.
this is why I say that sometimes we give to give another chance and get into conversation, it goes left. Oh, it went left.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
why did you start talking in the first? Why did you even
Come
open the
on.
door in the first place? Open the window, open whatever it
Yeah.
is, leave a little crack.
Yeah.
We're gonna seep in, right? We all know that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we gotta know God, and I know if we all as women, if we really know God, all the things that the enemy is trying to do ain't gonna work.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's almost
And
like
you
our
and people,
child. Somebody say my son came in and started cussing. I ain't gonna believe them because I know he don't do that.
yeah.
I know your kids ain't perfect, but
Right.
you know
Right.
they're
Right.
not. You
Right.
know what I'm
Right.
saying? So that's how
Yes.
you got to. That's I feel like that's also a relationship where when you have a close relationship with God, no matter what happens, you know
Mm-hmm.
what you know. You know
Yeah.
what you know.
And we
Yeah.
also got to be patient in this journey too,
Yes, we
because a
do.
lot of times we want to rush it and we just want to
Mhm.
move on. And I get
We
it
want to
because
rush and control the process. That was
there you go.
that's me. I always
Yeah.
want to
Yeah.
control what's next. What's next? I always want. Well, what did I do next?
Yeah.
Tisha,
Yeah.
calm down.
Yeah.
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 Hmm.
Absolutely. Yeah, we got to learn to be patient. Be patient with the growth. Be patient with time.
Hmm.
God is
Hmm.
time. If you
Hmm.
want him to be in control, you got to be patient with him
Hmm.
because he knows exactly when to elevate you in
Hmm.
front of those enemies, the enemies that's going to be your footstool.
Hmm.
Okay. We got to learn not to jump ahead of him. We got to
Hmm.
learn to, learn not to, self-sabotage
Hmm.
ourselves either.
Hmm.
Again, we're going through this journey of growth, of becoming this new person, this new woman that God intended for us to be. So in order for us to really reach to that success, whatever success means to you, right?
Hmm.
He has to unveil some stuff that is not going to look pretty, it's not going to feel pretty, right? And we have to stand and look at that thing, and we have to like, okay, yeah, that grossed me out, and I can see how God that grossed you out too, so I need to get
Hmm.
rid of that. And I'm allowing you to come in to take care of that for me, because
Right.
that is going to become a hindrance later on.
Hmm. Hmm.
It's going to become a hindrance.
And God's timing is always perfect time.
It's
Our
always
timing
perfect.
is not.
It's not, because we get impatient. We
Yeah, we
want things to
do.
be done so quickly. And I know I'm speaking to myself. I'm like,
And when
oh,
we
Lord,
do that,
I'm like,
and I'm speaking to myself too, when we try to
yeah,
rush things or want things on
yes,
our time, it never works out. It's never enough. You understand? And we're gonna get confused and get
yeah,
frustrated and point fingers and all the things and stop doing what it is we're supposed to be doing. Like I'm gonna give you an example in business. If our goal is to make multiple figures this, we're going into July. Instead of
mm-hmm,
saying I want to make a figure, whatever that number is in your head,
mm-hmm,
think of first instead of saying, well, my goal should be how many people I'm going to call, how many people I'm going to DM, how many people I'm going to email, how many new people I'm going to want on my email list, whatever. Let that
right,
be the goal. because work, God, God told me this a long time ago. Work always pays for itself.
Mhm.
You can look at
Mhm.
a goal all day. That's not what you're supposed to be doing. It's almost like losing weight. You can say I want to
Yeah.
lose 50 pounds all day,
Yeah.
but if you don't actually get on that treadmill or get on that
Mhm.
elliptical or hire a
Mhm.
trainer, whatever, or eat healthy, it's never going to happen. So instead of
Right.
saying I want to lose 50 pounds, say, you know what, from now on, I'm not going to have no bread or no sugar. Or from
Mm.
now on, I'm going to work out 30 minutes a day. Let
Mm.
that be the focus on how you can carve in time to work out. Same thing
Right.
in business. Let you connecting and reaching out to people be the focus. I was at a networking event the other day, and even though
Mhm.
the event was like, I was kind of mad because they started madly, it's black folks, and they had no food. So I'm
Mhm.
like, I was like, I ain't gonna eat when I leave home because you know what I'm saying, because I'm thinking they're gonna have food there.
Right. Right. Right.
But I got over 50 contacts at that
Wow.
event. So it's like we gotta really take it for what it is. Stay focused
Mhm.
on the fact that let me focus on what actionable steps I need to do every day to
Yeah.
become, going back to the becoming part. Because we always
Exactly.
focus on the goal. No, focus on the work. We always
Yeah.
focus on the brokenness. No, let's focus on what we're gonna become, y'all. When you
Exactly.
it's the same thing
Exactly.
with sports. They don't look at how qualified the team is or how many wins the team had before they came
Mhm.
to the stadium. No, no, no. Today we're going to whoop their behind. Today we're going to get this number of touchdowns.
Mhm.
You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Today we're going to
Mhm.
become winners. No matter
Yeah.
how many times.
Yeah.
And guys, you're
Yeah.
going to have your losses. You're going to have your
Yeah.
mistakes. That's part of the circle of learning. And
Yeah.
like Twonta said before, developing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. For sure. Let's move to our last point, ladies.
Last
Our
point.
last
This is a
point
great
for tonight.
conversation.
It is. So our last point for tonight is I'm still healing, y'all.
You
And
are
guess what? I am growing stronger every
stronger.
single day.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I want us to really receive that,
Mm.
because again, the enemy he's going to try to throw those darts at you. No
Mm-hmm.
weapon formed against me shall prosper, right?
Prosper.
The
Mm-hmm.
weapons are being formed,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but the enemy is not going, what he has is not going to penetrate, because God
Mm-hmm.
has a covering around you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we cannot continue to allow the enemy to defeat us.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still healing, y'all. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, there's some areas in my life I'm good, but
Mm-hmm.
there's other areas in my life. Yeah, I can boldly say that I am healing, because I see the improvement.
Yeah. Yeah.
I see the growth.
Yeah.
I see the change
Mm-hmm.
in me.
Mm-hmm.
you
Yeah.
know, and it's
Absolutely.
helping me to have a better perspective on what God has for my life. Now
100%.
I'm focusing on me instead of
Mm-hmm.
focusing on being battered, or
Mm-hmm.
being talked
Upset.
against, or
Mm-hmm.
being upset, or being agitated, or dealing with my daughters, or that's the because
Mm-hmm.
I have to start looking at what God has for me,
Yeah. Yeah. Amen.
right? I'm at that stage right now where, like I said, I'm taking full accountability of myself. I ain't got time to think about nobody else right now.
Nobody else. That's not what you're supposed to do anyway.
Exactly.
Because we go through this process, especially as women, of chasing after instead of
Yeah.
being the ones that stand on our own
Mm-hmm.
emotionally. You know, we cannot grow stronger if we're always looking backwards.
Mm-hmm. That's
And
right.
you can't even start your healing process if you're always looking behind you.
Mm-hmm.
It's a I think it's like a little it was a sermon our priest did today. He was talking about plowing. When you're a farmer and you're plowing the
Mm-hmm.
soil or whatever, you can't plow forward if you're going looking behind. You can't
Mm-hmm.
drive forward if you're
Mm-hmm.
always in reverse.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel
Mm-hmm.
like we do that a lot as women, as moms, as entrepreneurs, who's always
Yeah.
going back. Now, if you want to go back, God's going to let you go backwards. If you're going to look
That's
back,
what
He's
you
going to
choose
keep
to
you.
do. Yeah.
That's a choice. That, like, He gives us the
Yeah.
power, all of us, the power of choice. You know, that sometimes we always say, God, resurrect me from this or survive me from that. Da, da, da. But if you keep looking back, how he's going to help you with to move forward, to get stronger. And the thing is, y'all, our pain is our strength too. Whatever pain you're
Yeah.
going through or feeling right now, build strength from it. Build
Mm-hmm.
transition, you know,
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
always say that we're already healed. You know,
Yeah.
we just trying to
I
make
was
our
just thinking
mind.
that.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
trying to get our minds to catch up to it.
Yeah.
Because we gotta have a listen, Twonta. I know if we start having more power and authority over our thoughts, my
Mm-hmm.
God, today
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
we're going to be some,
Yep.
like my son had to go in front of the church today, and you know, sometimes with the youth they have them go and do scriptures and stuff, so they got to stand up in front of the whole congregation to do scriptures.
Mm-hmm.
And you
Mm-hmm.
know, there's certain words like diasin and all this other words that he gets tongue twisted. He was like, oh, you know, where do people get upset? I said, you saying this for you, baby.
Mm-hmm.
This,
Mm-hmm.
it's not for us. This is for you. You're speaking all
Mm-hmm.
these things in prayers and all that
Mm-hmm.
for yourself. So you
Yeah.
go up
Yeah.
there and don't even look at the congregation, look at that paper and talk.
Mm-hmm.
And he got
Mm-hmm.
through it. See, we stop operating trying to please others instead of saying, you know what,
Yeah.
I'm showing up today for me.
Getting approval of others. Approval.
Exactly. Because I'm
Mm-hmm.
telling you right now, when the minute we woke up this morning, heaven was like, yay. It's like an applause happened because you woke up. And if you're here now, there's still a mission that God has for you to
Oh yeah, for
fulfill.
sure.
But if you're all up in your head, right, being technical,
Mm-hmm.
be questioning and constantly, you know, like what you're saying, not being patient, you're not going
Mm-hmm.
to grow.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to grow.
Mm-hmm.
We get so
Yeah,
impatient.
you're
Like,
getting better.
yeah.
You're getting better in time. You're getting better in time.
Mm-hmm.
You're becoming more
Mm-hmm.
it's an exercise.
Yeah.
It's an exercise. You know, when we used to go to the gym, I say used to because I don't
Mm-hmm.
know if anybody's still going. But if you know, if you were going to the gym regularly, you know, in order for you to start seeing the results of all that time you put in, right? You got to exercise it. You got to commit to it. It's a growth process, as we all know. But
Mm-hmm.
when you commit to it, you get to see how much stronger you are, how toned you're becoming. And you look at the before and you're like, wow, I remember where I was now at that time, but look where I am now. I'm
Now,
becoming
yeah.
this beautiful, strong, toned, healthier, not just physical health, but mental.
Mental health. Yep.
Because a lot of
Yep.
times people, when you go to the gym, people only think about the physical
Mm-hmm.
change. And that's important, yes. But you're
Mm-hmm.
also going to understand that the mental is also included with that physical.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And
Because you can
that's
go ahead and get toned all you want, but if that mindset is still corrupted, it's not to me. All I see is a person that's got a really tormented mindset. You
mm-hmm.
know, they look sculpted, they look toned, they look
Mm-hmm.
healthy, but you open up their mouth, they still talking negative. You gotta really start exercising. And what I mean by exercising in terms of putting the word in.
Yeah.
God's word is what's going to help you.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to help you with your speech. And I always say this to God, I said, Lord, continue to work on my speech impediment. And I don't
Yes.
mean
Yeah.
speech impediment in terms like having a list problem. I used to have
Right.
them when I was a kid,
Right.
but that's not what I mean. I'm talking about change my way of talking
Talking.
about
Yes.
myself
Yes.
or about others. Help me, oh God, not to continue to what's the word? Complain,
Mm-hmm.
grumble,
Mm-hmm.
help me
Mm-hmm.
on help me God to, because that's been an issue.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Again, we gotta take accountability. If you know you are a complainer by
Mm-hmm.
nature, you need to chill with that because it's slowing the process.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You're
It's
right.
slowing. Yeah, and you're gonna be in your journey in that
Mm-hmm.
same situation longer than you
Mm-hmm.
need to. That's just
Yeah,
like
you
with
need
the
to.
Israelites. They were in
Mm-hmm.
the wilderness for 40 years and it was supposed to
Mm-hmm.
be 11-day trip.
Mm-hmm. It end up being longer. And you don't have to look great to do great.
Right. Yeah.
Sometimes God is going to strip those things that we get so attached to, things that we're like, oh, I can't do without this, or I have to get this in order to show up or move forward or to be whoever it is you want to be. Is that my phone? Oh, it sounds like a ringing noise. Oh, sorry. But you don't have to look great to be great.
Yeah.
Just be great. just
Just be
grow,
great.
just get stronger, you know,
Yeah.
let the process flow and
Yeah.
happen, you know.
Yeah.
um because you could still not, you know, we always wait to for the right time all the time. It's never a right time,
Mhm.
you
Mhm.
know. To time is
Mhm.
now. The time
Yeah.
is now.
The
Yeah.
time is now,
Mm-hmm,
right?
mm-hmm,
So, ladies, listen, take this journey in stride.
mm-hmm,
Each day, know that you are growing, you are developing,
mm-hmm,
you are victorious, regardless what's going on right now in
mm-hmm,
your life. You know, ask God to help you to not look at the issues or to rehearse the confrontations or or the issues that you had previously. You know,
mm-hmm,
if you want this journey to go as smooth as possible,
mm-hmm.
then it starts with us.
That's right. It starts with
It
us.
really, really does. It
Yeah.
starts with us. So
Yeah.
each day, just go ahead and write down the areas in your life that you know it needs repairing,
Yeah.
and you can't repair it. You acknowledge it, but you know
Mm-hmm.
it takes deeper work, and God is the one. The Holy Spirit is the one that can
Amen.
do that for you. Okay,
Absolutely.
and
Absolutely.
that's a daily assignment that we
Mm-hmm.
as women of God, we have to do for ourselves.
And you
This is
got to take
self-care.
actionable steps. Honestly, you
Oh
can't just
yes.
think going. It's consistent, consecutive, every day. You got to
Yeah.
be committed to you. You got to
Right.
be committed to yourself in the process that you eh, want to accomplish every day. It's not
Every
you're strong on Sunday and then Monday, Tuesday it's like you're down, and Wednesday, Thursday you're up. It's like, no, this is the routine or task, whatever you want to call it, that you're going to put in place no matter what's going on in your life.
That's right.
That
That's
mental
right.
toughness. Yeah, yeah. Do we have a
Absolutely.
what's news today?
Yes, we
Oh,
do.
we
We
do,
have a
y'all.
what's
Let's jump
we
into
do.
what's new. So, if y'all got any value over these four amazing points, we encourage you guys to make sure you pass this along with somebody else. Don't keep all this great information to yourself. And so, we're about to get into the what's new segment, which is a segment that is near and dear to Twonta and I's heart. And this segment is where we're going to be sharing a lot of the amazing stuff that people are doing out there in the world
Mhm.
that you don't see on the news. Like, I don't really watch the news, but I did take a glimpse at it today, and it's all a bunch of mess going on. We all know, I ain't going to get
Yeah,
into it. It is
Lord.
what it is, right? And even with that, when it's going on in the world right now is definitely a huge lesson and something that we all need to learn from. But anywho, we are going to jump into what's news today. And if you guys have anything you want us to share on the what's news, send us an email, sister to sister connection at gmail.com. We would love to know, what are you seeing out there? You're like, hey, you know, Twonta, Leticia, I would love for y'all to share this in your next episode, because this is something awesome. So it has to be something that's positive, something that's uplifting, something that anybody's doing in any community that is positive
Mhm.
and uplifting and things like that. So we're going to go ahead and bring up what's news in a second. And so while Therese is doing that, just to
Mhm.
remind you of our schedule every single week, we do this show every Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We like to play around with the schedule each season to see what works best for you. All right. So here
Yeah.
is what's news. Oh, wow. Awesome, awesome, awesome.
Yeah.
So, Tawanta, you want to read this off?
Yeah, this is a young man by the name of Dominic Waters, and he is a HBCU graduate who launched a sneaker academy to introduce youth to STEM careers, and he has already helped more than 800 students. And
Wow.
yeah, so it says when Kicks Lounge hosted the CO is SEOUL, and then SOUL, then SOLE. I like that event in Akron, Ohio. Dominic Waters knew he made the right decision to start his nonprofit Akron Sneaker Academy right in his hometown. Um, and let's see. It says Akron has an underrated history of sneaker culture. Because of course, if y'all into the basketball, NBA, you have like LeBron James, and he's like being the capital of rubber, as they say. Very few recognize it for sneaker culture. But he says, but also, Taylor got his claim to fame here. He played for the Akron Firestone Non-Skids basketball team and was a salesperson for Converse, says Water, on Taylor's impact on basketball and sneaker culture. Akron's Kicks Lounge was one of approximately a dozen stores nationwide to receive the highly anticipated and limited Air Jordan 3 Soul 2.0, a shoe that pays homage to the 1988 Seoul Olympics. To celebrate the exclusivity, Kicks Lounge founder Thomas Kim, a Korean American, launched a cultural playground for the city featuring the immersive experience and collecting storytelling. And inside Kicks Lounge, reimagined warehouse where guests you typically don't see in the Rubber City. There are exclusive items like
Am I frozen or Tawanta's frozen? Okay, y'all. So it looks like Tawanta is frozen. I'm gonna go ahead and continue on with reading the article. Sometimes our Wi-Fi gets a little wonky, but it's all good. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and try to pick up where she left off. If you've already heard what she said, let me know. All right. Let me get rid of all these ads. Jesus. So it's inside Kicks Lounge, right? Reemerging warehouse where guests you typically don't see in the Rubber City. NFL, let me get rid of these ads. NFL, ooh, okay. NFL players Jerome Baker, a linebacker for the Cleveland Brown, and Justin Lane, a quarterback, sorry, for the Pittsburgh Steelers, showed love at the event. Dusty Ball, the artist responsible for the 6-foot Air Jordan 3, a Soul 2.0 replica, as well as Nike executive responsible for bringing Air Jordans into physical stores, were also in attendance. All these people in one room solidified Waters' belief that sneakers can create the perfect pathway to introducing inner city youth to STEM programs and careers. Baker agreed. It's important for young people to witness something like this because it shows them what's possible. A pair of shoes might seem small, but it represents hard work, creativity, and dreams brought to life. He took black entrepreneurship He told Black entrepreneurship, sorry, when kids see that, especially coming from someone who looks like them or comes from where they come from, it can spark their own ambition. It's about showing them that they can make their mark too. Waters is an arc was an Acorn native and graduate of the historically Black college or University HBCU. He graduated from Central State University, where he majored in the arts. After graduating, he eventually moved to New York City, and had the opportunity to work for Louis Vuitton, Burberry, and even under Virgil Abloh? I can't pronounce that. Okay. However, through his nonprofit, Waters wants students to take a different path than his. He hopes to inspire young people to invest in their communities earlier and show them that there are plenty of opportunities outside of major cities where the cost of living continues to rise, which is true here in New York. Child is expensive, and the people are having a harder time getting financially ahead. Studies show a
Mm.
lack of access to technology, education opportunities is fueling a desire for youth to leave smaller communities for larger cities, with events like Soul, and Soul, Waters is
Mhm.
honing in on his point. The opportunities in smaller towns are there, right? His
Mhm.
nonprofit is bigger than his nonprofit is bigger than designing shoes. Sneakers are to draw because sneakers are the draw because it's culturally relevant for the significant number of youth. But his
Mhm.
nonprofit introduces young um, participants to design, science, and engineering.
Yeah.
Right. The city of Acorn has a polymer. Was it polymer?
Yeah.
Sorry,
Polymer
in polymer initiative
initiative.
now,
Mhm.
which is material science. But lots of our kids in the inner city don't know what polymers are. I can never pronounce that. Said Waters, acknowledging that
Mhm.
the University of Acorn has a top-ranked polymer science and plastic engineering program. Since Waters started the Acorn Sneakers Academy in January 2024, he's helped more than 800 students do workshops and summer camps. He's just getting started and already has decided on expanding the nonprofit to serve more youth. His 5-year plan is to create a global I'm sorry, innovation center around the sneakers of Acorn. For more information on the workshop or how to support the nonprofit, visit acornsneakeracademy.org. That's Acorn, not Acorns, Acorn Sneaker Academy.org. That's AKRON Sneaker Academy .org. And that's it. That is amazing. It's a testament that all of us can do our own like nonprofit or 501c3. I know in September I'm going to be taking a course on how to develop my own 501c3. But I think we this is a testament that we all can do something and create different organizations to solely help get back to our community. Now, you got to start somewhere, right? So even starting small like this man did and making it bigger is amazing. Like he started with sneakers because that's what he knows. Like Twonta, she does so much crafting, right? She can do, book, what's it called? Bookmarks. She made one show she showed you guys. So it's so many things that we can do to start and that start small and build from there. No, it's not an overnight thing, right? But eventually it will get there through consistency, resiliency, and mental toughness. We got to have mental toughness, ladies. We got to have mental toughness. It's so important. So I want to give a huge shout out to this amazing individual, this amazing man, and I just pray for his continued success and continued support. So those of you who are out there, if you want to go ahead and support this amazing organization, I think what is it, acornacademy.org. That is the website that you guys got to go to learn more information about what his next step that he's doing. All right. So we want to thank you guys so much. Tawanta's Wi-Fi was acting up, but it's good that it came in towards the end. This is such a good show. So, even though it's sad that her Wi-Fi is acting up, we got through the show. So we share some great information. So at least you guys got to hear all the awesomeness that we all share. We have a Facebook group community that we would love for you guys to join. Go to bit.ly/sister to sister connection. Make sure that when you join that group, you fill out our questions because we do check your profile. We make sure you're a real person, not a bot and all the things. And we do know that if you are. So we like to protect that community. Is absolutely some amazing. We're all going to be doing some things inside the community later on this year. All right. So I was
Yeah.
telling them Twonta is, even though your Wi-Fi is acting up, at least we got through the show. So it didn't lack that we gave all the great information. So that's a good thing, right? So
Yeah.
mark your calendars, ladies. We're going to be back here again next Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Mark your calendars. If you want to get on our email list, join our group, because when you join our group by going to bit.ly/sister to sister connection, or just go to Facebook and just type in Sister to Sister Connection. If the link doesn't work, go to Sister to Sister Connection on Facebook and join the group, because we'll get your email and we can add you to our email list. So I'm going to start sending out emails again whenever we're doing the show, whenever we go live, and so y'all can watch the replay as well. So y'all can hop on over and watch. All right. So anything you want to say before we leave, we get in our car and go, Twonta?
Yeah, just so you know, which is
Oh
another
yes,
segment that we do. But just so you know, I have gotten back into my Mary Kay. I've been doing
yeah,
it, but not like doing it, but I'm into it now. But I do have my group page, and it's called MK Beauty a la carte. And I'm gonna type it in, and
yes.
maybe I don't
Type it
know,
in,
Teresa.
and Therese can put it in the chat. Make sure y'all join this group because listen, this is self care, y'all. This is self care. You know, I
Yeah.
think we should add a fourth S to our pillars, which is sisterhood, stability. Was it sisterhood, stability? Oh my God,
And
sisterhood,
spirituality.
spirituality, and self care. I think we got to add
Mhm.
that fourth. We're going to add that fourth S, and that's where what Twonta comes in is amazing. So make sure y'all support that. Therese is going to put the link. That's the name to the whole group, right?
Yes, that's the name to
Yes.
my group. Yeah. And
Okay,
it's
Therese.
all Mary Kay based.
Yeah.
And I just started a video. Well, actually, I just did a video last week to introduce some products for the summer. But I'll
Right.
also do, I would say, we'll be doing some demos. We'll be doing, some live, like live events and stuff
Right.
like that. So I will let you all know, and I could be able to include that information later on for you guys to participate in that event.
Perfect.
But I definitely am getting back into the game of reinventing myself, as we had just
Hmm.
talked about, and so I can really accelerate into where I need to be in this business, and
I
even
love
other
that.
things outside of that.
Hmm.
So this is just the first right now.
Hmm.
So again, it's called MK Beauty a la carte, and it's a group page. So I have to invite you in if you
Yep.
want. And LaShawn actually joined a couple of days ago because I had sent her the video that I posted.
Yes, and I'm going to be
On her
inviting everybody
birthday.
to that group.
When she
Yes.
posted on her birthday, which was, yeah, I
Happy
sent it
belated
out and
birthday
she
to
was
LaShawn. LaShawn's a
like, I
long time
know.
listener for the show. So we're excited that she joined the group. And we want you guys to join the group as well. It's MK. That's
Hmm.
MK Beauty a la carte. MK Beauty
Hmm.
a la carte. So get inside that. Thanks, Therese. Get inside
Thank
that
you.
group, guys. Let's be adding in the self-care. And so I'm excited, Twonta, that you're kicking.
Yeah.
Anything in business, I get all chilly and chills about, right? So I'm
Yeah.
really excited you're getting back into the Mary Kay game. It's an amazing company. They have a long standing reputation for some awesome products. And so y'all make sure y'all join that group and y'all, this is for you. You're priceless. I
That's
want all
right.
y'all to remember that. We always feel it as definitely as moms that, oh yeah, we'll do all this for the kids, but oh, that's too much for us. So no, do it, because when you look good, you feel good. When you take care of yourself
Hmm.
and you do all the things, you just feel you're able to
Hmm.
operate. And you are the
Yeah.
foundation, ladies. Y'all, if you gotta take care of you first. You got because you
Yeah.
can't take care of nobody else if you don't take care of you first. And that's what's so important. I got my daughter this necklace and it said number one. And I said,
Hmm.
remember when you look at that you come first. Always remember
Hmm.
that. You're the foundation.
Hmm.
You're the glue that brings everything together. So don't lose
Right.
that. If we lose that as we become moms, wives, and all the things, we lose that sense of self. Right. So get inside her group, ladies. Make sure you join. We're going to continue to announce this group throughout the show,
Hmm.
every episode, because we want to fill up. Our goal is to get that group to over 1,000 people in that group.
Yeah.
That's our goal before
Yeah.
the end of this year. So I'm excited. I'm definitely
Hmm.
going to be inviting my followers to that community, and I'm be praying over your businesses because I know it's going to take off this year. Okay.
Yes,
Yes.
yes,
Yes.
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 It's gonna be fun. Like I said, it's gonna be about skincare for sure, but it's
Hmm.
also gonna be informative as well. So I will
Right.
be doing some, and talking about skincare, but also
Right.
talking about your inner care as
Yeah.
well, because that
Absolutely.
all combines, that all
All
comes together
connected.
as
All
well.
connected.
Hmm.
That's
It's gonna be
amazing.
fun.
It
It's gonna be fun.
is. It is. Two things for me. I always forget about this segment because I have a lot going on, but
Yes.
just two things. The first thing is we have an event coming up. It's my Your Brand, Your Breakthrough LLC.
Mm,
And it's going to be an amazing event. At this event, the reason why this event is very different is going to be on August 16th. and
Mm-hmm.
I'm with my business partner Miyoko Taylor, and we are going to be teaching on personal branding, leadership,
Mm-hmm.
thought leadership, and marketing and sales strategy. So we want you
Mm-hmm.
guys to definitely come out. It's going to be awesome. If you cannot come in person, we do have live stream tickets. You can get a live stream ticket and join in live. So it's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
Additionally, also, you guys know the second thing is I'm also teaching financial literacy for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
So I do have a group called Fortress of Success. Fortress of Success, if you guys are interested in joining that group. And I give y'all, some tips in there on how you can prepare yourself now for the future. Anything can happen to us. We can get
Mm-hmm.
sick. We could pass on. We can, and we got to advance our financial portfolio and what have you. So I do give a lot of, I don't want to give too much away, but I do get a lot of great tips in there on financial literacy and financial stability. So you definitely want to get access to that group. So that's all I have for myself.
Yeah.
I know there's a huge heat wave out there. So we, Tawash and I want to make sure you guys stay hydrated. I know that's hard.
Amen.
Okay, because I know I
Girl,
didn't get
come
all my
on.
water in today.
Yeah.
But I will. I love that fan. Did you make
Oh
that?
yeah, this is Naya's fan. She got it as a gift from her dance teacher.
Oh my
So
gosh.
you see the
That was
money,
like
like
real money, girl.
must be in the money.
Yes, it is pure. I was looking at that throughout the whole show. Oh my gosh. I
Yes.
fans. But make sure y'all stay hydrated, make sure y'all stay cool. Check on your, older, wiser family members
Yeah,
as well.
for
There's a
sure.
lot of things going on with the elderly, passing on and stuff because of the heat and everything. So we want to make sure we
Oh yeah, and
protect.
happy 4th of July too,
Yes.
because
Oh
this
yeah. 4th of
Friday.
July is coming up. Child, I don't know. But I think I'm gonna. If it's hot,
Yeah.
I'm staying in the house. I
Oh
don't want
yeah,
to be
we
on
are
that
staying in the
grill.
house. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
but on
sorry.
Friday is 4th of July weekend. So you
Yeah.
guys be safe with that as well.
Yeah.
Be careful, because people like to do their own fireworks and stuff, which is cool, but just be careful with that as
Be
well, and
careful.
just be safe and just have a good time. Have a good
Yeah.
time with friends and family for sure.
Yeah.
That's
And
it
I
for
want to.
me.
Yeah, that's it for me too. And just thinking of another idea. I know I want to do share some resources. I'll do it to the email list for you guys. I know we all have a grandmother, a great grandmother, granddad, and stuff. There's a lot of scams happening to the targeting the old folks. So I'm going to send out like a list of resources on different
Mm,
scams that a lot of
wow.
these older folks get into and not realizing it's a scam, and they're losing thousands. I'm talking about thousands of dollars, not even $100 here and
Wow.
there. But I'm gonna send some resources. I know I'm linked up with our community board here in Queens, and they
Mhm.
gave me some information that I didn't even know that was happening. I was like, oh wow, that's crazy. But
Yeah.
I'll share some of that in our email list. So make a lookout for that, guys. I feel like when we hear something like that, there's awareness. We gotta pass it on. We gotta pass it on. We gotta
Right.
pass it on to help
Absolutely.
others. Yeah.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm. All right, guys. Y'all
Definitely.
have an amazing day. We're going to see y'all next week at 7 o'clock Eastern. So mark your calendars, get in our Facebook group community so you can learn more about what we do. And Tawanta's going to be in there. I'm going to start to get in there more. And remember, y'all, love on your sister. Bye, guys.
Bye, y'all.